Leon? Kalmir? There doesn't appear to be much left in here other than, well, the mirrors of a dying world.
Yes, as fascinating as this area is, it doesn't seem to lead anywhere we need to be right now.
Yeah, you're right. I think we put off the inevitable a little long enough. Walk straight into hell, shall we? All right, let's get out of here, and we'll cut our way a new path.
The ghosts of the Hall of Mirrors continue to swirl around you, but they don't impede your progress any. Just menacingly threatening the end of existence, the sorrows that are awaiting you and everybody else that happens to exist at this time, including themselves.
Lovely bunch.
As you exit the Hall of Mirrors, Leon? Are the changeling?
We're going to Arcadia. I'm gonna the goal is shores of Arcadia, or
Now, do you need like a specific place in Arcadia, or is it just Arcadia in general?
If I answer with confidence here, you may not follow me. I have no idea. All I know is that what I'm going to try to do is theoretically possible, because it's been done. I don't know how it's been done. Just gonna have to hope that it comes naturally, unfortunately.
Give me that hedge spin roll. Hacking your way through the thorns.
Correct. I think I have a merit to give me a bonus, but I don't feel like looking it up right now.
Out of 10 dice, 1 success.
I should have looked it up.
1 success is enough, though. Feels like about an hour. But then, Leon, you see what you expect to see. Something out of a storybook. Paint shifting and swirling. Never staying in one position long enough to become actually solid. You are back. Now, Kalmir. You don't see that.
Oh.
Being our first non-changeling / true fae to ever witness Arcadia in, well, at least in this storyline. But also being a mage. What you see instead is supernal symbols. The cross sections of, without getting too far into how a two-dimensional being would see a third-dimensional being, that's essentially what's going on here. You're only able to perceive the cross sections of supernal imagery that appear and disappear, essentially.
Mind can't quite fathom it. Not quite.
No. Obviously, you do see the strong strands of fate. But everything else Actually, give me a resolve composure roll because I feel like this would cause a headache.
I was gonna mention that, yeah. It's probably headache inducing.
-3.
-3! Oh.
Yeah.
Haha! 1 success.
It's not a migraine, but it still hurts, so to speak.
Just a faint little twinge.
No, it's a full-on headache.
Oh, even with a success, I got a headache. Okay. It's not just not a debilitating headache.
If you wouldn't have succeeded, it would have been a migraine, and if you would have dramatically failed, it would have been one of those migraines where you literally just vomit.
Okay. Well, this place is certainly headache-inducing. I can just barely make out some of the symbols going on here. This is fascinating.
Fascinating's not the word I would use.
Maddening.
Closer to the right word.
Also,
Before we...
you shouldn't complain about things to me outside of game, because you know I'm always going to do stuff like this. Give me clarity.
Oh, what's the clarity roll? I don't think I've done it before.
Resolve composure, I think.
Always
I think it's like 2 rolls. Breaking points. Number of dice based on the breaking point severity. Alright, so like nothing. No dice then, right? It's just a chance die.
Yeah, how severe is this?
I think it always caps at 5. So it'd be minus.
Oh yeah, spending time in Arcadia is literally just a 5 dice one. Okay, so... What is the results? Oh, okay, yeah. Ooh. Well, then I roll my weird. Oh, this isn't fun. Time to go into a coma right now.
One success.
Alright, so let's roll 10 dice to see how much bashing clarity damage I take.
Fail, fail.
No, we want all successes here.
6 successes equals damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
succeed.
Please.
Oh, just kill me. Oh no,
It's all
except
bashing.
No, it's not,
Bashing
because it's
lethal. It's
exceptional,
lethal.
except the clarity damage the changeling takes is severe instead. Ooh, yay!
Oh.
Ooh, lethal clarity damage.
What happens? What happens it?
Welcome home.
Wait,
Yeah,
Okay, but I don't take any damage in my rightmost 3 boxes, so I don't gain a condition. Yet. I only have 3 boxes left.
Out of 8 clarity, he just took 5.
Wow. You're just so happy to be home again.
We're not making it out of Arcadia with this one, guys.
How does that amount of clarity damage manifest for Leon, so to speak? It would be something that at least I think Kalmir would be able to see with supernal sight being how it is right now.
So, usually, if I recall correctly, now I am not changeling expert. As your clarity goes up, well, actually, no, as it goes down, you start losing track of reality. So I'm probably like hallucinating now, and I'm gonna try to pretend it's not happening. But
That would be wits plus subterfuge roll, and Kalmir,
Ease.
go ahead and perception.
All right. Which
Subterfuge. I don't have any subterfuge.
Nope.
Okay. So you don't notice anything outwardly. Since essentially everything you're seeing is in Mage Sight, without even activating Mage Sight, which is concerning.
Yeah. Fate went on immediately. Like, oh, well, hey, wait a minute.
You would also start to notice. Well, it's not just Fate that's on, it's everything that's on. You're seeing everything as if you would see it in Mage Sight, rather than seeing it physically.
So I'm only seeing in Mage Sight.
Kind of, yeah.
So what about the ones that are not ruling? Because ruling Arcana I can use for free.
You're not using Mage Sight.
It just seems like it.
Yeah, it's
You're not in
Arcadia.
Kansas anymore.
Yeah, it's Arcadia reacting to your ability to see it.
I see. Okay.
And that's what it has decided it wants to show you.
Okay.
So, you actually do see some mind threads snap. There's no way you wouldn't see that in this situation.
Yeah, that would, yeah.
But you don't notice anything outwardly. The actual physical sight of Leon's fine. It's a very confusing mess, and that's why you have a headache.
Yes. This will take a bit of getting used to. What would happen? He's gonna try and actually activate a mage sight and see what happens.
Typical mage.
Yeah. What does this button do?
Everything becomes solid focused. Instead of seeing cross sections, you no longer see anything other than fate. Nothing. You are blind to everything else.
Well, that no. Turn that off. That would be very helpful in certain situations if I need to focus on it, but no. Not right now. Go back to the normal non-fate sight. Non-mage sight, which is technically mage sight, but not mage sight.
As you flick back, the symbols don't seem quite right anymore. They've changed in some minute way compared to what they were before. As if the area has decided, okay, now you're gonna see this instead.
Gonna be like that, huh?
How's Leon doing? Leon's no longer alone with Kalmir, by the way. Beside you is a wolf made of plasma.
I'm gonna, I'll turn my head and able to manifest here then, eh?
Looks at you. Doesn't give any sort of response. Was that allowed, by the way?
I mean, I'm probably used to talking to him in my head, so I would have tried that first to see if this might just be another hallucination. No response, huh?
No. Thought I was clear on that.
Yes. Okay, just blink a couple times, shake off the, maybe it is just a hallucination. All right, let's turn back to the person that I know is not a hallucination here. I hope. Kalmir, before we go any further into this, I need to ask what you're capable of. I have a plan.
I am capable of many things. You'll have to be a little more specific. I could go on and on and on.
I'm afraid, even here where time isn't exactly real, I don't think we have enough time for you to do that. If you recall what that gentleman in Iron said a few hours ago, all the other Fae around here are apparently dying. Getting consumed or subsumed. I'm not quite sure the difference. The difference is probably philosophical at best, by the parasites. Even if somehow what I'm about to try succeeds, remember when we first came in and I was complaining about how the Fae was simple-minded or whatever. If this parasite changes, we'll have lost whatever time I buy here. If it is at all possible, I would ask you to help me retain whatever cognition I still have right now. I need to be able to adapt better than the Fae could, while still gaining the strength that they would have here.
So you want the power of an ascended being with the mind of a lesser?
Is there another option? The ascended beings failed.
And are failing, yes. I know what you mean about them being focused and ignoring the rest. That seems to be a common trait in higher beings. They have their domain, for lack of a better word. All others are, who cares? Whereas it's us lesser folk with the wider view.
While this conversation and thoughts go on, we're gonna return beneath Arcadia. Keeper of the minstrel's heart, and the minstrel, as it were.
Okay, so I guess we're just gonna keep moving forward. Jimmy, stay close by. And let's see what's underneath our home. We move forward.
Without any objections or any impedance, the two of you make your way into the hive. Both of you make me perception checks, if you would, please.
Sorry, we can hear the noise.
We cannot.
Okay, good. I can hear it. Sorry. Okay.
What's plus composure?
I'm looking for my character sheet.
You didn't have it open already?
It's the
Well, I
one
have
that
a program open, but
it's Sonia. It uses the name Sonia. There is a search field up at the top. type in Sonia Anderson and it'll pop in.
Oh,
Oh,
I got it.
it's in changelings as well.
I got it. So, wits.
Composure.
Okay. Well, 4 successes.
Jimmy, there's one thing you notice about this place. It is almost identical in construction to what you found in the shadow. Matter of fact, you recognize the pathway that Sigheim slid down. Morning Frost, as you... well, I should say Keeper of the Minstrel's Heart until you decide otherwise. You lead him down the main path, taking note as the sound pulses off of you, using it in somewhat of an impromptu echolocation. You are not able to see, but able to detect thousands of the large insects, quadrillions of the worms. None of them move to intercept or do anything at this point. But you know they're here.
So it's just really dark, or?
Arcadia kind of has its own ambient lighting, so nothing unless it is deliberately... unless something has made a deal with darkness, nothing's ever actually dark. So everything kind of has an ambient light to it, you know, everybody can see perfectly fine at all times, it never matters.
Can't help but feel I've been here before. Didn't exactly go entirely according to plan.
Well, when you head into the unknown, you don't really have a solid plan.
It's all the same though. Down there. That's where we went last time. For what it's worth.
Speaking of solid plans, it's not just 1 or 2, it's a goddamn infestation down here. Out of game. I have no idea what we're going to do.
So, reminded my dad used to tell me when he was a kid growing up East End. He said the way I didn't have money. When I had a toothache, it was the old string round the door handle, round the tooth and slam the door. Rip it out.
Yay.
Something like this, I don't know. Where do you even start?
The two of you continue descending as you talk?
Yeah.
Just verifying, we're falling?
No, walking.
Okay.
No,
I was like,
walking.
descending.
It's an incline.
Great.
You're in a cave system.
Okay.
Hive system.
Picture everything.
Hive in a cave.
Hive in a cave. I weirdly seem to know the way.
Are we're just gonna keep moving until we find the queen or whatever?
The big bad.
The one that keeps popping them out? I mean, right? That's how hives work. There's always that one, the head or whatever. Is that what we're looking for? Why is nobody?
When you're talking about bees, yes, I don't know if this functions by the same rules.
No, I'm just trying to use the knowledge that I have right now.
Well, use
you
your
have
knowledge
base.
from Changeling.
Oh,
It was the little worm things that gathered together made bigger worms, which gathered together, which made the spider wasp.
So yeah, we are, I guess, looking for a massive spider wasp worm queen.
all right.
You
Cool.
reach not the bottom, but a basin, as it were. The path stops descending, opens up into a very large room. A couple of other connecting tunnels, and then one large tunnel connecting, leading further down. Sorry. As you step closer to this, still descending, the roof reveals shoes. Roughly human-sized, standing in the middle.
Shoes. Humans wear shoes.
We haven't forgotten everything about us.
I'm gonna go ahead and ignore that. I pick up the shoes.
You're not close enough to pick up the shoes. You're still descending. And as you descend, you notice shoes are connected to pants. Pants are connected to a shirt. Shirt is connected to a long trench coat. As you finally step far enough down that this entire being is revealed, Jimmy, I'm gonna need a clarity roll at a -5.
Ew. So what's resolve composure?
Or
Willpower for 2, right?
hold on.
Resistance.
No, you roll 5 dice for this.
Oh, roll 5. Okay.
Yeah.
No, don't worry. 2.
You need to roll your weird now.
Oh, all 10 of them.
Make it good.
Yeah, as it turns out, becoming like some weird thing.
Oh!
Not good for the old psyche.
Same.
Wow. Okay.
Have fun with your 5 lethal clarity damage.
Well, I'm like you, Gandhi. I've still got left 3 health. Boxes are absolutely fine.
Alright.
Obviously, keeper of the minstrel's heart. You don't have clarity, so you don't need to worry about that.
She's already insane.
No, I'm super clarity, okay? I see clearly. Do I notice what's going on with Jimmy? Hope so. No.
I don't think you would, actually. You don't
Would I
have...
care?
Jimmy's, as he's talking about his family, realizes memories sort of pauses for a moment as he realizes memories are bleeding into each other and people are being, like in his visual memory, people are being replaced by others and he's losing track of who's who.
Been a long time since I saw either of you.
Who is it?
He taps a cane down, shifts from the form that he was in into that of one of the Fey folk. Your keeper.
I don't think I would be able to compose myself.
Composure checks if you wish, or you can just
Yeah,
auto fail.
I will take a resolve composure.
Nice.
I'll take a willpower back for that. I'm gonna need it.
I'll let the dice decide for me.
That's what they're there for.
Yeah, that should be fine. My composure's really good. Wait, it's wits plus composure, right?
Yes, and remember to add in your wits above 5.
Thought it was a resolve.
It should be resolve composure.
Oh, sorry, resolve composure.
Resolve.
Add in your
Yeah.
resolve above 5. Unclick wits,
Mhm.
and it's wits or it's resolve composure. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
And then add in your click the button underneath abilities for resolve above 5.
Sorry, my computer's going slow. ¿Por qué?
It's actually the same roll, even if it was wits.
5.
Both of you have exceptional successes. You are remarkably composed standing in front of somebody that used to... Well, somebody that destroyed who you used to be. Some in larger fashion than others.
I slowly walk forward, but just enough to make sure that Jimmy's behind me.
Nice
So
on
this
you.
is where you've been hiding.
Can't say I've really been hiding. Been doing exactly what I needed to do.
You just couldn't handle the fact that you lost.
Lose. The fact you think I lost tells me how much I've actually won. With that, he slams the cane down and shifts again into a semi-rotting body. Gigantic masses pop open and then begin to ooze pus.
I shift back to Morning Frost.
So, what brings two little lost sheep back to the flock, as it were? Don't know if I can accept one of you back. Makes a very pointed look at Morning Frost. Damaged goods and all that.
If you thought I was good to go, you clearly weren't paying attention.
We're here to finish what we started.
A smirk appears across his face, and he spins the cane around, spins it behind his back, and holds it with two hands. Still having it behind him. Skin changing somewhat. Jimmy, this one looks familiar. Not the form of your keeper, like before. It's not the form of the pustulant mass. It looks almost like Kalmir.
Is this... So right now, Jimmy wants to know, is this real or is this the things blurring again? Just a brief moment, sort of rubs his eyes, pinches the bridge of his nose. Looks again.
Still looks like Kalmir. You should you survive? Should I let you survive? You need to start asking better questions about those you work with. But I don't think we're gonna ever get to that point. He kind of adjusts himself, spinning the cane around him again, placing it gently on the ground. So, what will it be? Come groveling back. Submit yourself once again, Jimmy, and all of this can be over. That little tart is nothing but a little wart that I can brush away.
No, it's in fact something else. You took so much from me. Everything that I had. Let's be honest, wasn't much at the time.
But you became
what's
so
gone
much
on?
more.
Yeah. Sure. Living a life on the run. Always afraid, looking over my shoulder. No, it's something I want to take from you.
On that note, we're going to switch back to Kalmir and Leon.
Now, is there a process for your ascension? It's kind of difficult for a mage to do on their own. I don't know. I'm not familiar with yours.
Gonna kind of give a shrug and
If you want, you can give me intelligence plus occult.
Sure, I'll do that. That sounds
Normally,
like
I wouldn't allow a non-changeling to make this roll. Essentially,
I will willpower it for the sake of this roll's not very good.
it is as simple as it is complex. Need a title. You have to strike a deal with something. Doesn't necessarily have to be something physical. It can be something mental. You just have to strike a deal powerful enough using your weird to forge a title.
Theoretically, it's simply a matter of being here and making my intents clear to the forces that create this place. I believe I can begin whenever we're ready.
All right. So I'm clear about this. You want to ascend, but keep your mind. You want to be a being of a higher plane with the perception of a being of the lower plane.
You put it like that, and it sounds like a terrible idea.
Yes, it does.
You're correct. Let's run the theoreticals here. Let's say I strike the correct deal and successfully immolate every parasite and worm in this place. These parasites came from somewhere else. They just have to come back in a different shape, and I won't recognize them, and we'll be back here in another 100 years. And who's to say that there's another person able to make the same sacrifice?
What if you were a little less specific? Because that is the same thing that troubles the other Fae. They're specific in their intents, and they lose focus of all else. While you do want to be focused on destroying the contagion, it need not be this specific contagion, yes? It can be the contagion in general.
Possible. I know by nature what needs to be done, but I don't know how specific I need to be. Do you know? I don't think it'd be a matter of standing here and announcing that I intend to become the sole defender of this place and immolate anything that would threaten it. Because just by saying that, it could be argued whether or not this contagion even threatens the place. One man's threat is another man's opportunity, you know? If you're too broad, then I won't be successful enough, you know?
Yes, I understand what you mean. Too specific, and you'll miss everything else. Too broad, you'll miss what you're aiming at. Must strike a balance.
Balance has been the nature of the game.
Another earthquake starts as one of the realms of Arcadia collapse beside the two of you. I need a dexterity athletics, or you are hitting the ground hard.
Which is now a mile and a half below you.
1.
You're able to keep your footing, if just barely. Having to go down to at least the knee to not to keep from absolutely just falling over.
Well, this place seems to be falling in on itself rather quickly.
As it would seem.
Right then. Are you prepared?
You would not like the answer. But would run out of time.
This was your idea. Remember that. Although I will admit, this is a fascinating endeavor.
Balance is the name of the game. Man and wolf hunting together so far, I can do this. Man and Fae? I don't know. Do I just dice roll this to see how I want to go about this? I might have to.
No, there is no dice roll. As stated, it's as simple as it is.
Well,
You're,
dice roll to decide whether or not I'm going to try to ask Kalmir to do anything.
it's up to you.
I know it's up to me. That's the problem. That's the problem because I don't know which one would be better or would be.
I feel like if the spell doesn't work, it would be the same as just doing it without the spell, right? I don't know.
The spell itself could interfere with the process. That's the thing.
Uh-huh. This is untested waters.
Yes, let's jump 50 feet off the cliff. I don't know what's down there. I don't know how deep the water is. I don't know how jagged the rocks are. I don't know if that's water. That could be paint. Oh well. Alright.
The time to
Kalmir,
decide is now.
it is time to decide. Kalmir, if this comes back, if this plague comes back, I hope you guys deal with the rest of it first. And if what I'm gonna do doesn't work, I hope you can tell the next person who has to do it that what I've done didn't work. I am gonna walk forward until I find what feels like a suitable spot to start calling forth aspects of Arcadia.
Kalmir is absolutely turning on Fate Sight for this.
What I guess both of you see. I'll say that both visions are the same. For those of you that have read the Bible, there's one particular scene about the water being split in two by Moses. That is what Arcadia does as Leon approaches it. So, what do you want this title to be, Leon?
I don't know if you really get to decide exactly what your title is. Leon's intent here is to, well, destroy the contagion. He wants to burn out the rot. You know, he kind of wants to set the wildfire to the rotting forest so that it can grow again. He kind of wants to just keep the balance here. To that extent, I mean, I don't know how you want to go about this, but this would have been something to discuss ahead of time.
The Inferno? It's too simple. But it will do for now. Titles can be refined later on. At this point, I need you to mark off all clarity, as if you had taken aggravated damage in all clarity boxes.
I don't think you can actually take ag clarity damage, but
This is just more
I know
of
what you mean. But yeah.
And with that, Kalmir, Leon no longer exists. Another entity, seemingly composed of fire, wolf, and man. Something akin to the hybrid form of the werewolves that you have seen, but only instead of it being a physical form, it is that of superheated plasma. And with that, everything around you catches fire. The ground melts away.
Is it hot?
Only for the briefest of moments. And then you feel the air being sucked out of your lungs
I need that. Give it back.
as both you and this new entity begin to plummet.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of the Contagion Chronicle, The World Plague, the conclusion to the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology, written and told by Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter, don't stop asking yourself, what is this plague that invades both body and mind?